Hey everyone, this is Megan Duffy Brown. I am here to talk to you today about a little template I think you will be able to use to help set yourself at ease as a writer. With technology, so many distractions are possible. So why not acknowledge this and create a non-blank page to begin with? And also, let's make sure we use our tools of technology to help launch our writing, make things a little easier and perhaps more fun. There is a suggestion that we as readers talk to the text. We're analyzing the text. And so why not talk to our own text as we get ourselves on the page? And there's a couple different ways we're going to do this. Let me share the screen for you. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. You can be creative in your template. You can be personal in your template. And you're always going to want to use this as in the pursuit of obviously writing an essay. Okay, first things first. So MLA format, you're always going to use that as far as I understand for any English papers, right? Any literature papers. You're going to use it when you're not using APA, basically in college, right? And grad school. Some other places will have you use Chicago, et cetera, but we're using Times New Roman, okay? And Times New Roman, MLA is Times New Roman 12. It's not bolded, it's not underlined. There will be nowhere in your paper where you're going to embolden the text, okay? So not even in the title. So you're going to have a page number, you're going to have your header, your name, your professor, your class, including whether it's with the number of the class and the date, right? I'd like to see you say title, I got this, because this is sometimes the hardest part. And we're going to want to make it something other than essay one. If you want to say something like essay one : and then why I write, for example, then you can do that. But always try to make it a little interesting and try to psych yourself up if it's something you have a hard time with. I often have to write my paper or my poem before I have a title. But titles always help and they're necessary. And, it can give the reader, often your instructor, a little bit of relief to see something catchy there, right? Okay, so I've copied and pasted the instructions from the assignment. Okay, so just a little blurb. So that's a tool that I think every student should use. Have the instructions right here. And then, of course, you're going to delete them. You do not need them for your paper. Okay, so and then there are some creative tools I think you can use for this template for yourself. And, you could save this template and have it so that every time you start a new document, it's not a blank screen staring in front of you. You have something personal here, right? You have goggles. That's really not personal. But for me, it's personal because I'm a swimmer, okay? So we've seen our lovely professor have pictures of his dogs on his journal. So whatever is something personal for you, put it there, okay? Or something fun. I put the infinity sign here. That's one of my favorite things too. Okay. All right. So another thing, this was an absolute game changer for me when I was working in the corporate world and doing a training document. Actually, it was a handbook. And I had all this wonky text that I was copying and pasting from various places, and it was not to format. So my colleague just showed me the paint roller function. So if you have, this is something I copied and pasted. It's a quote by George Orwell from his document, but I did not attribute it. So you have to attribute it. But right now, my thing is just to show you something you can do to make your templates a little bit more manageable when you're actually creating your essay. Okay, so check this out. So this is the text that we do not want because it's large, it's italicized, it's bolded, it's just not even the right font. It doesn't even have a serif, which is the little hook. So what you want to do is, this is the text, this is the format that I want. I want the Times New Roman. I'm going to highlight that text. Okay, choose the paint roller format. I know artists love that. And then click on the text that I want to change, right? So let me try that one more time. I'm highlighting the text format that I like, clicking on the paint roller, and then trying to change something. Okay. I hope that that's helpful. Another thing you're going to want to use, or you're going to need to do, is you're going to have page format, page numbers. So this is where you find that and insert, and then page numbers. Again, I'm using Google Docs. Sometimes folks want to use Word. Please just let me know if you need any help with this. Okay. And I know most of us are doing our work online and submitting online, so our pages will be consecutive and sort of attached to each other. But I still think this is important. Say I don't know, for some reason your instructor wants to look at it on paper. We really just need to have page numbers. That's part of the format. Okay. So you'll see it will carry on to the next page unless you tell it otherwise. So I'll just show you real quick how to do it otherwise. All right. So if you don't want it to show on the first page, then you can, well, we can get to that another time. Sorry about that. Okay. Finally, in terms of things that you might not know about, I've included what's called lorem ipsum text. And that is, again, not necessary for you, but it can, if you want to start with a template that is not a blank page, then this is lorem ipsum text that I've just copied and pasted from the web out there. Okay. And it's just standard text so that you can see this, you open your template and it's not just a desert staring you in the face. Okay. And you can change the color. When I am commenting to myself about my writing and I want it to be stronger, or there's a quote that I need to pull in, I don't like to delete. Okay. At least not at the very beginning, right? So what I like to do is I like to put comments, right? So comment to the margin, right? Hey, don't forget the quote, right? Anything you want to say that is talking to yourself, to your text in a positive, constructive way. Also, you can write words in your own document that are reminders of like, hey, I told myself after the first couple paragraphs that I was going to take a break. So you can write in a break, right? And then at the end, you can write something like, congratulations, you've completed your first draft. Okay. And I hope that this video has been somewhat, and if not amazingly useful, and that I hope you have a great first essay and subsequent essays. Take care.